In this series, I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to strip away all the complexity and hard graft and teach you how to cook amazing food standing on your head. Cut through it, hand on the knife. From the kitchen novice to the budding chef, I'm going to give you the confidence, the recipes and the insider knowledge to make you a much better cook. And that makes the fish cake nice and fragrant.
I've been cooking in professional kitchens for over 25 years.
Make sure those blades are taken out of the claw as well.
I've been taught by some of the best chefs in the world, and in turn, I've taught some of the best.
Taste it as well. Every day it changes.
Now, I'm going to show you some simple and accessible recipes for fantastic food that you can easily cook at home.
Incredible.
I'll be holding you by the hand,
Just getting tastier and tastier.
teaching you everything from how to cook with chili and spice to baking, real fast food, and my ultimate feast recipes.
This is the only cookery course you'll ever need.
Welcome to my ultimate cookery course.
Packed with cooking tips, information, and 100 recipes to stake your life on.
Now it's time to settle down and enjoy some slow-cooked favourites. One of the brilliant things about slow cooking is there's often very little preparation required, and it's the oven that does all the work. My first recipe is packed with strong, confident flavours, and with the oven taking the strain, is a pleasure to make. Delicious slow braised stuffed lamb breast.
One of the secrets to slow cooking is to be robust and really get stuck in. Big, bold flavours work brilliantly well, so don't be precious. This is gutsy cooking at its absolute best. These are lamb breasts, a beautiful cheap cut, and it's sort of tucked alongside the rib. They've been boned out, the skin has been taken off. I'm going to roll them, stuff them, and braise them.
Braising simply means cooking in liquid on a low heat, making the meat divinely tender.
Now, open them up and give them a really good season. Season them both sides, inside and out. Really important. It doesn't look like a real weighty, dense cut of meat, but once it's beautifully slow braised, it's just like melting lamb. It's incredible. I'm going to season the breasts with some dried oregano. Put a heat in there, some chili flakes, lemon zest. Put some amazing salted anchovies in there now. They almost melt inside the lamb. So the balance of flavours work beautifully. Now, pull it down towards you and roll that nice and tightly. That's what I'm looking for. String. We just need to tie them 3 times. 1 at each end and 1 in the middle. I fell in love with this dish years ago when I first started working in Paris because we had all the lamb in from the Pyrenees. Nice thing is, they can be done the day before. Pan on, olive oil in, get that oil nice and hot. Lamb in. Really important to get some nice colour on there. Whilst they're browning, slice the onion. The lamb's going to be cooking for 2.5 hours, so don't slice the onions too thinly, otherwise they'll burn. Garlic, I'm going to leave whole. Got a colour on them. Look at that. Beautiful. Take them out. Onions in and garlic. Straight in. Lovely. That's the secret about slow braising. You never change pans. Why? All the goodness is in that one pan. A few chili seeds in there. Oregano. Nice pinch. A little bit of lemon in there. I'm going to do the onions, what I did to the lamb. Next, my capers. Fry them off. Get them exploding at the bottom of the pan. They get nice and crispy. Next, my black olives. Now, white wine. Bring that up to the boil. Deglazing the pan as well. Rinsing the bottom of that pan. And now the flavour in there is just extraordinary. Now, we add our tomatoes. Let's puncture those plum tomatoes.
Then simply place the lamb breast back in the pot and remember to taste.
That's nice. Lid on. Into the oven, 170. 2.5 hours, and forget about it. Whoa, beautiful. All that has reduced down to this amazing, nice tomato sauce. And the lamb has kept its colour. Look at that. It's braised beautifully. Very carefully, get your little bits there. Slice off, pull off the little bits of string. This is why I get really excited. The secret is not to slice it too thinly. Look at that. You can smell the lemon. It's hard to believe when you slice through the centre there that that is a very cheap cut of meat. I'm salivating. I love this. I mean, it's just incredible. Pick up the tomatoes and the olives and the onions. An amazing, rich sauce. Take your lamb and sort of just sit it on. It looks incredible. And that, for me, is why chefs get so excited with cheap cuts, because the end results are incredible. Delicious breast of lamb with lemon, anchovies, chili, and oregano. Slow cooking is a fantastic way to develop delicious, deep flavours. Here are 3 of my easy one-pot wonders. Minimum preparation, long cook, and an amazing, wonderful taste.
First up, easy bollito misto, a classic Italian mixed meat dish. I'm starting with some Italian fennel sausages. Fry them until coloured, making sure all sides are nicely browned. Set them aside, then slice chorizo, a spicy Spanish sausage with a wonderful smoky taste, and fry it so it releases all its incredible flavour. Next, chop carrots, celery, garlic, and add to the same pan. This keeps in all the flavour. Stir in the puy lentils. These are excellent for slow-cooked dishes because they retain their firm texture and shape. Next, add a bay leaf and some fresh thyme sprigs. Then the sausages go back in, along with chicken stock. Simmer until the lentils are tender, then season to taste. Finally, sprinkle with chopped parsley and serve. Simple to prepare, a cinch to make, and packed full of delicious, hearty flavours. My twist on an Italian classic. Magnificent, easy bollito misto. My next everyday, effortless dish is slow-cooked aubergine. Dice the aubergine and fry in hot olive oil until coloured on all sides. Then add a finely sliced onion and chopped garlic. Cook until tender. Add cooked butter beans and pomegranate molasses, which is a sweet, thick and gloriously tangy reduction of pomegranate juice. Season. Next, add a can of chopped tomatoes. Bring to a simmer and cook until the aubergine has a gloriously soft and silky texture. Stir through chopped mint, pile onto toasted bread, and finally, for a lovely salty tang, crumble over some creamy feta cheese. Minimum preparation, but slow cooked for maximum flavour. Aubergines like you've never tasted before. One more dish that uses time to transform a humble ingredient is perfect slow cooked beef. Start by frying the beef shin in hot oil, seasoning as you go. This is a very economical cut of beef. As it slow cooks, it also makes the most delicious gravy as the marrow thickens and flavours the sauce. In the same pan, sauté chopped carrots, peeled whole shallots, sliced celery, peeled and chopped ginger and garlic. Next, add tomato puree and cook for a few minutes. Add the shin back into the pan with a glass of dry white wine and the juice of an orange. This deglazes the pan, adding incredible depth of flavour. Pour in chicken stock, season and simmer for an hour and 20 minutes. This dish is brilliant finished with gremolata, a dry Italian salsa made with chopped herbs. Simply chop parsley and garlic together and mix in the zest of an orange or lemon. When the beef is cooked, rich, unctuous and beautifully tender, scatter over the lovely fresh gremolata. Simple, satisfying and crammed full of wonderful taste and textures. Delicious. Fast to prepare, cheap and easy to make, slow cooked to perfection. 3 amazing dishes I guarantee you'll make time and time again.
This is my essential guide to kitchen equipment. Everything you need to know about the basic kit that will get you cooking fantastic food. Casserole dish. Absolutely essential when it comes to good home cooking. Why? So versatile. The beauty of this thing is the fact that you can actually use it on the hob or start it on the hob and finish it in the oven. More importantly, cast iron, it conducts the heat, so you can have the gas on absolute minimal or the oven down to its absolute lowest setting and the thing will just cook naturally.
Casserole dishes are surprisingly versatile and a great investment. You only need one, and if you look after it, it'll last you a lifetime.
Brilliant for one-pot wonders.
Coming up on my guide to slow-cooked favourites, more easy tips to refine your kitchen skills.
If you don't skim all that off, the stock becomes very cloudy.
The insider's guide to brilliant buys.
It's gone out of fashion a little bit, but it should be enjoyed by everybody. It's a fantastic piece of meat.
And braised pork belly, a recipe to stake your life on.
That is amazing.
Welcome back to my ultimate cookery course. I'm teaching you my slow-cooked favourites.
Next up, my guide to getting the best value from your butchers.
One of the biggest bills in the kitchen is going to be for meat, so it's crucial you keep costs down. But that doesn't mean sacrificing flavour, especially when you use some slow cooking magic to get the best from cheap cuts. To get value for money, it always pays to ask an expert. And 5th-generation award-winning master butcher, Danny Lidgate, is a man in the know.
One of the great things about going to a butcher is they're going to have more cuts available than most supermarkets. So you're going to see things that people don't know about. So one example might be the beef ribs, a great product for slow cooking in the oven. Especially cooking on the bone, you're going to get more flavours from the bone. There's some really nice pieces of juicy meat. These are only used for mince in the past. Now people are using it for braising or slow braising or even barbecuing it with some really nice marinades. The oxtail are less popular now than maybe they used to be. Small little muscles make up the tail. Once that's slow cooked, they all fall apart. Really tender, juicy meat.
Also, oxtail is sublime in stews, curries and soups. Another great cheap cut for slow cooking is one you saw me using earlier, lamb's breast. It's one of the least expensive cuts of lamb, and it's also delicious slow roasted or stewed.
Here we have the shin of beef, where you can see in the shin it's made up of lots of little different muscles. These are always moving, always doing work, so slow cooking will give the best end result. It's gone out of fashion a little bit, but it should be enjoyed by everybody. It's a fantastic piece of meat. Here we have some ox cheeks, and when they're trimmed, you end up with a really lean piece of meat. Obviously with the cheek, the cow's always eating, munching on grass. This means they need a lot of cooking. But essentially, it's a really nice, healthy, lean piece of meat with fantastic flavours.
Ox cheeks also make an incredible ravioli or ragu. And if you're a pork lover, why not try pork neck? It's a succulent alternative for a slow Sunday roast.
Here we have a muscle from the shoulder. It's called feather blades. The reason it was called feather blades is because when it's cut, each piece looks like a feather. The gristle tends to be slow cooked, and the more it's cooked, it will turn gelatinous, giving a lovely jelly and juicy liquid to the meat. Fantastic for casseroling, pies and stews.
There are so many cheaper cuts, which are brilliant for home cooking.
It's important with all these forgotten cuts to find out how to cook them. Don't be scared of them. They're really economic, but full of flavour. And the end result is a fantastic meal.
As a chef, one of the biggest kicks I get is taking an ingredient that doesn't cost much and turning it into something that looks and tastes like $1,000,000. My next recipe turns what used to be a decidedly unfashionable cut of meat into the star of the dish, fit to grace any table. Slow roasted pork belly with fennel.
Slow roasting works better on fattier, tougher and unfashionable cuts. Whether it's a cheek or even a neck or this amazing pork belly, It's a fantastic way to transform cheap cuts into amazing melting perfection. Take a very sharp knife, bring the pork belly towards you so you're over it and you've got all that pressure and weight. Using the tip of the knife, I'm just sort of nicking it and go across the pork belly. Long strokes with the knife. Take your time. Turn it 180. This time, what we're doing is just sort of cutting those nice little sort of diamonds. But as that starts roasting on top, it starts getting nice and crispy. Take little handfuls of salt and just sort of rub it in. Bend it over and in all those cracks. Really helps to get a nice, crisp crackling on top. Roasting tray. Get it really nice and hot. Take a whole bulb of fennel.
To intensify flavour and to keep the meat succulent, I'm braising my pork belly with strong, vibrant spices and vegetables. Crush and peel 3 whole cloves of garlic and add to the fennel.
Olive oil in. Fennel in. I like the nice, strong aniseed flavour that goes with that nice, rich, dense pork. Fennel seeds. Delicious. Star anise in. And just a couple of cardamom seeds. And wow, they're like little bangers, like little firecrackers. Incredible. Lovely. Fresh bay leaves. Get your pork skin side down. Just sear the top of that fat. That locks in all that amazing flavour. Then I'm going to flip it over and get it nice and crispy. And then I want fennel seeds embedded in those little cracks. Now, some white wine. The minute that white wine hits that pan, you can just smell that light fragrance of the fennel.
Allow the wine to bubble away and reduce until the alcohol has burnt off.
Time to add the stock. Now, the stock goes in just underneath the skin, so it roasts on top. All that meat under there is going to be submerged. Because what happens in the oven, the top goes crispy as anything, and the stock reduces and braises at the same time. Really important that you bring that back up to the boil before it goes in the oven. Otherwise, it will never boil, never get up to temperature. It smells incredible.
Slow roast the pork belly at 180 degrees for 2.5 hours.
Look at that. You've got that nice, crispy skin on top. You can see how much of the stock has evaporated. Put that onto the board. It looks stunning.
To make a delicious rustic sauce with the flavour-packed contents of the roasting tray, first get rid of the excess fat.
Take a couple of slices of bread. It's like a perfect sponge because you just lay that on top and drag it almost like a net. And it just absorbs all that fat. If you want the perfect fried bread, trust me, stick that in a frying pan. A nice teaspoon of mustard, whisk that in.
And then simply simmer for a few minutes before pouring into a serving jug.
With your pork belly, always use a nice serrated edge knife. You can hear that. Wow. And that is amazing. Incredibly tender. That belly of pork is gonna almost melt in your mouth. You've got that sweet meat under that crispy belly of pork. What an amazing way to cook a very cheap cut of meat. Next, my tricks of the trade and kitchen tips.
First, how to make a fantastic chicken stock, a classic slow-cook recipe that gets amazing flavour from simple ingredients.
Chicken stock, the vital ingredient to good cooking. It transforms sauces. It's a fantastic base for soups, and more importantly, it's so easy to do. A little bit of love and care at the beginning, and it cooks itself. Right, step one, chicken carcass into a high-sided pan. An onion, doesn't need to be finely chopped. The vegetables flavour the stock. Onion in. Then from there, cut your leek into nice big solid chunks. Roughly same size as the onion. So all the vegetables cook at the same time. And then our carrot. Celery in, garlic, and then a nice sprig of thyme. That helps to really give depth of flavour to the chicken stock. A couple of bay leaves and some fresh parsley. And then peppercorns. Pan, and just lightly crush them. And a little pinch of salt. And now just cover the vegetables and the carcass with cold water. Just cover the chicken and the vegetables. Bring it up to the boil as quick as you can. Now, as it comes up to the boil, a really nice skim. Take the base of the ladle and swirl that around. That pushes all the grease and the impurities to the side of the pan. Then get your ladle and just tilt it. If you don't skim all that off, the stock becomes very cloudy. People's impression of cooking stock, then it needs to cook for 3-4 hours at a time. This is one chicken carcass. Let that boil away gently for 30 to 40 minutes maximum. Now, we're going to pass it off. Take a sieve, place that over the pan, and then just pour that in. It smells amazing. It's aromatic. The colour is absolutely beautiful. And there you have the most amazing stock.
When you need to season meat in flour, a great tip is to place it in a plastic bag to dust it evenly. Using flour also helps the sauce to get nice and thick during cooking. When browning meat, fry it in small batches. Don't crowd the pan, otherwise it won't sear or colour properly. When slow roasting meat, line the bottom of the roasting tray with chunky vegetables like onions, fennel and carrots. They act as a trivet to keep the meat from boiling in its own juices. Plus, the veg can be the base for your gravy later on. After slow cooking, baked on residue can be tough to remove, but if you boil water in the pan, it will dissolve and break down. Then simply pour out and wash with soap and water. Follow my ultimate cookery course, crammed with key lessons. Top tips and 100 recipes to stake your life on, and you'll literally be cooking yourself into a better chef. To collect selected recipes from the show, go to my scrapbook at channel4.com/Gordon. Go on, get cooking. Next time, my ultimate guide to brunches.
Just looking at that, it beats any omelette.
More essential cooking tips.
We're going to be slicing around the seeds.
And more flawless recipes to stake your life on.
Delicious.
9 o'clock next Monday night, and it begins. Hotel GB opens its doors. Gordon Ramsay, head chef. Kirsty Allsop, concierge. Phil Spencer, maitre d'. I'll take a twin. Come dine on a tight budget. Next on 4.